This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. The vice mayor of Padigan, this province, was shot and wounded inside a hardware store in Barangay Pamutic, Padigan, on Thursday morning, the 12th of September. Police said the victim, Noel Bissas, 56, was sitting inside the family-owned establishment at 8:30 am when gunmen on board a motorcycle arrived. The backrider approached the victim and fired at the victim, who was wounded in the right arm and shoulder. The gunman, who was wearing an orange cap, and his companion fled, and Bissas was taken to a hospital in Bantay, Ilocos Sur. Padigan is near the provincial capital Bangued and about 50 kilometers west of Vigan City, the capital of Ilocos Sur, and 400 kilometers from Manila. Police are conducting follow-up investigation and pursuing the suspects. A policeman and 3 companions yielded 2 kilos of suspected shabu worth 13 million pesos in a buy-bust operation in Jolo, Sulu on Thursday, the 12th of September. Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency Bangsamoro Autonomous Region Chief Gil Cesario Castro identified the suspects as Police Staff Sergeant Raja Ismila, 49, assigned to the Toy-Toy Police Provincial Office, and Andam M. Alajam, 65, Madami S. Alajam, 44, and Rasi Jalor, 54. The suspects were arrested after they sold at least 2 kilos of shabu to a PDEA undercover agent in Barangay San Raimundo. Castro said the suspects, who belonged to a local drug group that transported the contraband from Toy-Toy to Jolo, which serves as a drop-off point in their operations. He said the suspects had been placed under surveillance following their involvement in illegal drug trafficking activities. The PDEA official said they remain steadfast in their campaign against illegal drugs amid the involvement of public officials and members of law enforcement. Several high-ranking police officers were relieved in the aftermath of the discovery of a Philippine offshore gaming operator's hub inside a hotel in Barangay Agus, Lapu-Lapu City. The latest to be relieved was Colonel Ali Baron, who was axed from his post just 5 months after he was named as the chief of the Lapu-Lapu City Police Office. Lieutenant Colonel Conrado Manatid will serve as LLCPO officer in charge following the relief of Baron, said Police Lieutenant Colonel Christian Torres, information officer of LLCPO. Also relieved from their posts were Colonel Marlon Santos, chief of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Central Visayas, and Colonel Gervasio Barmaceda, chief of the Regional Intelligence Division of the Police Regional Office, Central Visayas. The other day, 2 other police officers were also relieved. Major Dindo Aleris, head of the LLCPO Intelligence Unit, and Station 4 Chief Major Judith Bisas. The order to relieve them came from the national headquarters of the Philippine National Police, PNP, said Lieutenant Colonel Gerard A. Speller, spokesperson of PRO7 Chief Brigadier General Anthony Abram. They were relieved while an investigation to determine if they could be held liable for the clandestine operation of the Pogo Hub. That was the reason why there were relief orders, but the orders came from the national headquarters. We will always abide by the wisdom of our leaders in the PNP, Pella said. The raid was conducted on the 31st of August by the National Bureau of Investigation, Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, Department of Social Welfare and Development, Interagency Council Against Trafficking, and the Bureau of Immigration. A group of foreigners that included Chinese, Indonesians, and Burmese were apprehended during the raid. The chief tanod of Barangay Candulan in Talisay City was wounded after he was shot in the head while he was standing outside the barangay hall on Thursday evening, the 12th of September, 2024. At around 9:04 p.m. the victim was identified as Fidel Torian Sr., 42 years old, a Puragnangka, Barangay Candulan, Talisay City resident. Meanwhile, the suspect was identified as Jeron Montid alias Tian, of legal age, a resident of Sitio Iba, Barangay Lagtang in Talisay City. Based on the investigation of Talisay Police Station, before the incident, the victim was standing outside the barangay hall at Purak Bungan of the barangay. Moments later, the suspect suddenly arrived riding a motorcycle, drew an unknown caliber firearm and fired at him several times. The victim suffered a gunshot wound on his head. Torian was brought to Cebu South Medical Center, where he was recuperating. On the 10th of August, 2024, the suspect also shot the victim with the bullet just grazing the victim's chest. Based on the previous investigation, the suspect allegedly wanted to take revenge on the tanod for the death of his brother, who was allegedly killed by one of the tanods of the barangay. The failure of the municipality of Calayan and Cagayan to deposit 2.142 million pesos in its local treasury as of the 31st of December, 2023 deprived the local government unit of the immediate use of funds for its priority programs and projects. Worse, the Commission on Audit said in its 2023 annual report that the funds may have been lost or misappropriated. The report stated that cash should have been deposited to the town's depository bank, and the fact that the funds remained undeposited violated sections 2, 69 and 105 of the Presidential Decree No. 1445, the Government Auditing Code. The COA said that Calayan was able to remit and deposit 800,005 pesos to its authorized government depository bank. This brought down the balance of 2,942,122 pesos in 2022 to 2,142,117 pesos in 2023. The 2.142 million pesos consisted of General Fund 798,490 pesos, Special Education Fund 1,340,606 pesos, and Trust Fund 3,020 pesos, which represented and remitted and undeposited collections of various accountable officers from previous years. It said. It also said that the town's treasurer has committed since 2020 to submit the list of accountable officers with unremitted collections. However, the municipal treasurer has not submitted the said list to the COA. It was found that there were no demand letters issued to the concerned accountable officers for the immediate remittance deposit of their collections, the COA said. The said collections, which remained undeposited for several years, raised doubt on the existence, reliability and accuracy of the recorded balance of the cash local treasury account. This also indicates that funds may have been lost or misappropriated, it pointed out. State auditors warned that accountable officers may be held criminally liable for malversation of public funds under Article 217 of the Revised Penal Code. The COA then asked the Calayan town officials to take immediate action and issue demand letters to the concerned accountable officers for the immediate remittance deposit of the 2.142 million pesos to the authorized government depository bank of the LGU. Exhaust all possible legal remedies to collect from the concerned accountable officers the total amount reported under cash and local treasury account, it stressed. A 46-year-old teacher was stabbed to death inside his home in Barangay Mandog in Mazin, Iloilo late Thursday. Victim Ian Clemente, a teacher of Dagami National High School, was playing with his 4 children when suspect Jed Domingo barged into their house and attacked him. His children were able to run to their bedroom while his wife, who was preparing food, ran outside to seek help. Staff Sergeant Faith Jan Lisa, Mazin police investigator, said Clemente took all 7 stabs to prevent Domingo from attacking his children. Domingo was later arrested by responding village watchmen. It appeared that it was a random attack. The suspect doesn't personally know the victim, Lisa said. Domingo is detained at the police station pending the filing of charges. Authorities arrested a municipal councillor here for a drug case on Saturday, the 14th of September. The police regional office 2 identified the suspect as Emerito Gasmen. Gasmen, considered a high-value target, was wanted for violating sections 5, sale, and 11, possession of Republic Act 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. He was apprehended on a warrant dated the 12th of July, 2010 issued by Judge Severino B. de Castro of the Quezon City Regional Trial Court Branch 82. The court recommended no bail for the suspect. Gasman is under the custody of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency Region 2 for documentation prior to turnover to the court. An official of the Muntinlupa police and his wife were shot dead by an unidentified suspect inside their home on the 16th of September. In a report, the Southern Police District identified the victims as Captain Amanatan Manganday, 40, and his wife, Mary Grace, 40. Their 12-year-old daughter, Shazmina Mina, was wounded in the attack. The shooting happened at about 1:10 am while the victims were in their house at Tierra Villas in L&B Compound, Ilaya Street in Barangay Alabang, Muntinlupa. According to the police, an unidentified armed man entered the house and shot them. The couple died instantly while the daughter was wounded and was rushed to a hospital for treatment. The suspect was described as having long hair, 5 feet 9 inches in height, and was wearing a black jacket and black pants. Muntinlupa Mayor Rafi Biazon condemned the shooting. "We condemn in the strongest terms the brazen attack on the family of Police Captain Aminuddin Mangande, which has resulted in the death of the police officer and his wife and the wounding of his daughter. This act of violence against a law enforcement officer and his family should be investigated thoroughly, leaving no stone unturned to find the perpetrators and the mastermind and prosecute them. The people of Muntinlupa mourn for this loss of a fellow public servant and his wife," said Biazon. A policeman is undergoing investigation after a fugitive he arrested in Quezon City reportedly escaped after tricking him into buying a sanitary napkin. The police officer, a 36-year-old corporal, was relieved from his post at the Batasan Police Station 6. He is facing a complaint for evasion through negligence under the revised penal code. The policeman was relieved from his post after a woman identified as Mary Roy Paranas, who is wanted for qualified theft, managed to escape while in his custody on Saturday. An investigation showed that at around 3:50 am, the lawman and other police personnel served a warrant for Paranas' arrest, issued by the Taguig City Regional Trial Court Branch 227. The policeman and his colleagues brought Paranas to the Rosario Maclang Bautista General Hospital in Barangay Batasan after she complained of stomach pain and difficulty in breathing. While in the hospital, probers said Paranas asked the policeman if he could buy napkin pads for her menstruation. The officer agreed. When he returned from a retail store, the policeman was surprised to find out that Paranas was no longer in the hospital. The policeman surrendered to his supervisors and is now under investigation. Unidentified gunman shot dead on Tuesday afternoon a municipal councillor of Buluan Town, Maguindanao del Sur. Kianul Samis, Maguindanao del Sur police director, identified the victim as Mohammad Usman Alameda, who suffered multiple gunshot wounds in his body. Captain Semafranco Sumacio, Buluan police chief, said Alameda and his companion were standing in front of a roadside restaurant at the national highway fronting Buluan District Hospital when attacked by still unidentified assailants, who fled on board a motorbike. "We strongly condemn the shooting of Councillor Alameda," Samis said in a statement on Wednesday. Initial police reports said the shooting occurred at past 3 p.m. at the national highway in Barangay Poblacion. The Maguindanao del Sur police office has created special investigation task group Alameda with Sumacio as commander to locate, identify the perpetrators, and file the appropriate case in court. "I would like to assure the public that justice will be served and the perpetrators will be put behind bars," Samis said as he appealed to the public to provide information that could help in the early resolution of the case. Samis begged off providing the motive of the attack and the identities of the attackers. Buluan Mayor Babadats Mangadadita condemned the killing of Alameda, whom he said always worked for the betterment of Buluan. He said the local government was working with the police for the speedy resolution of the case. To the perpetrators, know this, the arm of the law is long, and the gavel that shall strike you for this crime will be heavy, Mangadadita said. Christopher Leo, the former budget undersecretary tagged in the family mess, was arrested in Davao City on Wednesday, according to the Philippine National Police. Leo, 47, was nabbed in his residence in Davao City through a warrant of arrest of Sandagan dated the 12th of September. Leo and 12 others were found liable for graft in the biggest corruption scandal during the pandemic, and their criminal prosecution was recommended for allegedly conspiring to award 4 billion pesos in contracts for COVID-19 test kits to Family Pharmaceutical Corporation. A Tederay leader, who is also a village councilman in Barangay Bongo, South UP in Maguindanao del Sur, was killed on Tuesday night. Leticio de Tuwata, the supreme tribal chieftain of Tamuray Justice and Governance, identified the victim as Elvin Juarez. He is on his way back home after attending a tribal wedding ceremony when shot by unidentified men, de Tuwata told the Inquirer. A report said he suffered several gunshot wounds. Juarez was rushed to a local hospital but was declared dead on arrival by the attending doctors. For de Tuwata, Juarez is known for being a vocal Lumad leader, especially on the rights of indigenous people in South UP. Authorities arrested former police major Alan de Castro and his driver in connection with the disappearance of beauty pageant contestant Catherine Camillan in Balayan, Batangas. It was reported Wednesday, according to Police Regional Office 4A. De Castro was apprehended at around 7:47 p.m. on Saturday, the 14th of September in Barangay Calican. During the same operation, authorities also arrested De Castro's driver bodyguard, Jeffrey Magpante, almost an hour later. The two men are facing kidnapping and serious illegal detention for their alleged involvement in the disappearance of the beauty queen, who went missing in 2023. Charges against both suspects were initially dropped on the 15th of May due to a lack of evidence. However, both suspects now face the same charges with no recommended bail filed by the Batangas Regional Trial Court. In hearings on Camilan's disappearance early this year, De Castro was cited in contempt for allegedly not telling the truth and was kept in Senate detention. He was released 2 days later by Senator Beto de la Rosa on humanitarian grounds. De Castro was alleged to be in a relationship with the former beauty queen before her reported disappearance, while Magpante served as his driver bodyguard. The ex-cop was reportedly supposed to meet Camilan on the day of her disappearance, which he denied. Camilan was last seen passing some towns on Batangas with a companion via CCTV footage on the 12th of October. Witnesses later claimed that they saw a bloodied Camilan being transferred to a different vehicle on the same day, while Magpante was in the area. Testing of an abandoned vehicle located in the area by the police later revealed hair and blood that matched the DNA profile of Camilan's parents. The hair strands and blood recovered from the SUV matched the DNA profile of Camilo's parents. PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Director Major General Romeo Karamat Jr. said, "Our witnesses did not lie. There's corroborative evidence that the woman they saw was Miss Camilan," said Karamat. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.